So the Really Good Podcast is back once again today with stage number 15 of Tour de France right before the rest day, although we're currently on the rest day. What kind of stage was that, Taylor?
That was a breakaway stage, and it went to form. We all expected it to be a breakaway stage. There was a brief bit of time early on where we thought the peloton might just control this, but a massive group ended up going up the road. Loads of riders involved, but one rider proved that he was better than the rest. Let's start at the intermediate sprint, because among the breakaway riders, you had plenty of big names. You had Ben O'Connor in there for the general classification. Carlos Rodriguez was there too for GC. You had some good climbers in Buitrago, Neilson Powless, Warren Barguil, Michael Storer, Lutsenko, etc. And you had a couple of sprinters. The likes of Thibaut Nace was in there, but one of the riders that made it in was Mathieu Van Der Poel. Now this is a green jersey hopeful, and Van Der Poel was allowed to just roll over the intermediate sprint and take 20 points. So great result for him at the intermediate sprint, but could he hold it to the line?
That is the question that I wish... Well, I guess I know, but for you guys who don't know, I fell asleep during the stage. So I was the final 12 kilometers, so I won't be saying as much today. Yeah.
The climbs were not fought out too heavily, but what you ended up seeing was a lot of attacks, because the group was massive and there were riders in there that people didn't want. Notably, Wout Van Aert was in there for Visma bike, and it was his teammate Victor Campenaerts that ended up going up the road. What do you think about Van Aert being in the move?
I mean, that was my pick for the stage, to be fair, so I was happy to see him up there. I was hoping he could stay, but he's not on form, man. He doesn't have it. I need the old Van Aert back.
Yeah, I was. I made a late change to my fantasy, which I will get to, which I was initially happy about, but ended up not being the case, which we'll get to later. But it was Wout Van Aert's teammate Victor Campenaerts that forced a move away, and a couple of riders managed to follow it. Tim Wellens was one of them for UAE Team Emirates XRG. And you had the likes of Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer involved, as well as Matej Mohoric. It was a good group of very talented riders. And they worked together. And if they did work together, it would go to the line, which they did to an extent, because up the final climb of the Puy de Sancy, it's dangerous percentages. And you don't really want to be with the punchy guys, if possible. So Matej Mohoric knew that. Tactically, he played it the best that he could have done by attacking on the flat section before. In the end, everybody kind of saw it coming and went with him. And Mohoric was dropped on the Pas du Sang climb. But Victor Campenaerts is showing great legs, because he stuck with the rest of the breakaway group up the Pas du Sang until Tim Wellens, who had been at the back for most of the stage and just monitoring things, taking as little relays as he possibly could, headed to the top of the climb, and you could tell this was his plan. It was his one attack that he did over the top of the Col du Fortu de Bro, which was like the longer version of the Pas du Sang before it went downhill to the finish. So Wellens timed his attack on the top of the climb, over the crest, when everybody was fighting with the bike, and got a gap. And that gap grew and grew and grew and grew until he got to the line on his own to take UAE Team Emirates' 5th stage win at this Tour de France. The last time that it was a non-Pogacar stage win for UAE was the first stage in 2023, when Adam and Simon Yates went on that attacking raid to take the yellow jersey. But Wellens takes the win, and it is a non-Pogacar UAE win, but still a UAE Team Emirates win, Lucas.
Yeah, I think there's revenge for Pogacar not wanting to win the previous mountain stage. He's like, okay, I'll do it myself. Okay, I was pacing for you this entire time. You don't want to win? Okay, I'll go and win myself. I think this was one of them ones. And he's also just won a stage win, But yeah, he's been so good this entire tour. Just facing for Tadej. I mean, it makes sense that he can honestly just do it himself as well.
Yeah, expect Nils Pollitt to be in the breakaway in Paris to go, fine, I'll do it myself.
Oh, yeah.
And take a stage win. Or stage 17, actually, because that's a sprint day. But no, Wellens takes the stage win. And in the end, Victor Campenaerts manages to hold the rest of the breakaway group off, which eventually got working together because there were multiple teammates in there. The likes of Thibaut Nace and Jasper Stuyven for Little Trek. You had a couple of EF guys in there once Nielsen Paulus was caught. And those teammates working together ended up relaying the rest of the breakaway, apart from Victor Campenaerts, who held them off following a brief attack down the descent. So Campenaerts finishes second and looked a little bit gutted with the result. Again, UAE Team Emirates beating Visma Lease bike. But Campenaerts second.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the sprint for third.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yep. that was amazing, man. Just explain it to me.
So early on in the stage, there was a crash involving Julien Alaphilippe. Of Tudor Pro Cycling. Intriguingly enough, a couple of the GC guys got caught behind it. So Only, Jonas Vingegaard, Lipovitz as well were the big names that got caught. And I guess it proves that even after the mountain stages, you've kind of still got to be aware and be at the front at all times, because everybody thought this stage would be just a gradual stay in the peloton, let the breakaway win by like 10 minutes and leave everything be. But Alaphilippe was involved in a crash and he had to put his shoulder back in or let the medical team do that before he got back on his bike, then finds himself in the breakaway, which is crazy enough in itself. And Alaphilippe, in doing so, in the crash, breaks his radio. And this is key because Julien Alaphilippe, quite dramatically, it was a great sprint from him, wins the sprint for third place, and he was pumped. So pumped because he thought he'd won the stage. Now, Victor Campenaerts was 8 seconds ahead of Julien Alaphilippe, so there's a little bit of, skill issue regarding that. But Alaphilippe was pretty distraught once he'd realised that he was racing for third. Apparently, Wout Van Aert told him they were racing for third, but Alaphilippe thought, "Oh, you're racing for third behind me and somebody, if I would say at the start of a Formula One race, Lewis Hamilton, you're racing for third because me and Max Verstappen are going to beat you so hard."
Oh no.
So Alaphilippe thought that he was racing for the win. Interestingly enough, his teammate Michael Storer, who had been in that breakaway for the whole day and had seen Tim Wellens and Victor Campenaerts up the road, did finish in the group of Julien Alaphilippe. Probably could have done with telling him what the race situation was, given his radio broke.
Like, by the way.
But by the way there, Julien, do not celebrate because Victor Campenaerts is literally 10 seconds ahead of you. You can pretty much see him going across the line there. And Wellens has already crossed the line. So don't celebrate. Alaphilippe celebrated, which means he now completes the combination of celebrating too early and celebrating too late. Which he did at Liège-Bastogne-Liège a couple of years ago when he was beaten by Roglic. So has done the combo that nobody wants.
He's done it all, man. He's done it all. And when it comes to dislocated shoulders, I'm a bit of an expert. I've dislocated mine 3 times. It hurts. And riding a Tour de France stakes afterwards, even when you pop it back in, still hurts like a bitch. So I'm impressed he even made it through that. Well, I mean, he sprinted at the end. Because most likely his ligaments and whatnot in his shoulder will still be completely messed up. I would assume the adrenaline helped with the pain, but he's going to be feeling it on the rest day and next stage for sure.
Yeah, in the end, pretty much, I think 26 of the breakaway riders made it to the line. So basically everybody, apart from Van Der Poel, Lund Andersen, and what's the guy's name? Jake Stewart made it to the line. Which is interesting because Van Der Poel seemingly just didn't have it today. Murmurings that he was ill, which is why I am very disappointed. I selected him for my fantasy team, gave him captaincy, because I was like... And then I saw the tweet, and it was 5 minutes before the deadline. And I was like, I'll change that. And then kept scrolling Twitter. And then it got to 20 past, and I was like, oh, damn it, I've not changed it.
No.
But then he actually got in the breakaway, and I was like, oh, it's on.
Oh, wait.
He was lying the whole time. But no.
He was.
Yeah, the rest of the breakaway crossed the line together. But because Carlos Rodriguez was in the breakaway, it wasn't a completely chilled out day for the peloton, because Uno X and EF started pacing towards the end. And that was because Carlos Rodriguez, he was getting a little bit too close for comfort to Ben Healy and Tobias Harlan Johannessen's GC position. And in the end, Rodriguez ends up overtaking Healy on GC for 9th. So Wellens wins the stage, 1:28 ahead of Victor Campenaerts. Then, of course, 8 seconds behind is the celebrating Julien Alaphilippe. The peloton comes in at 6 minutes and 7 down, led by Ben Healy, who couldn't quite catch Carlos Rodriguez. In the end, though, a little bit of an underwhelming stage for me. The fact that Wellens had completed a 43-kilometre solo.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of moaning from Quinn Simmons in the interview afterwards about camera motorbike drafting. But at the end of the day, that's a part of the sport, and if anything, you should have been attacking first because you knew about it. But no, Wellens attacking away kind of ruined the vibe of the stage. It was a good win, and Wellens completes the Grand Tour triple of Giro stage, Vuelta stage, Tour stage at the age of 34. And to be honest, if I'm riding as a domestique for Tadej Pogacar, I wouldn't have been expecting to walk away with a Tour de France stage.
That's true. That was like the last you would expect. By the way, Campenaerts minus 25 UCI points. You got
that was for, if I wreck my brains, it was for like unauthorized feeding, I think, or like something like that. It wasn't for anything heinous. Yeah.
Right. Fair. Sad. I was looking for drama.
I mean, you'd find it in the Quinn Simmons interview, because that guy it was like a WWE interview. He was just like giving 2-word answers. He was not a happy man.
Oh boy.
But no, that was the stage, and at the end of the day, it had potential with Wout Van Aert and Van Der Poel and all these big names in a breakaway to be very good. In the end, it was a tactical battle, but it was a not so thrilling tactical battle where Wellens delivered the killer blow and takes the stage win. So for GC, there's not much movement, of course, in the top 8. But Carlos Rodriguez sneaks his way above Ben Healy into 9th on the general classification at 18 minutes 26 now, gaining over 6 minutes on the rest of the peloton. Well, over 5 minutes, should I say, on the rest of the peloton. And Healy drops to 10th, 18 minutes and 41 seconds. Interestingly enough, Jordan Jade out of Total Energies was also in the break and is now within a minute of 10th place Healy. So one to keep an eye on. But the points classification, Van Der Poel keeps reining in Tadej Pogacar and Jonathan Milan, who was dropped very early on in the stage. Jonathan Milan, a little bit of a worry for him. He doesn't look very good at all.
I mean, after the huge mountain stage, I guess it makes sense that he just barely made it in, I guess. He was one of the final guys. Yeah. I think the rest day is very much needed for him. But couple points clear still. Yeah,
Pogacar's still winning this, I'm afraid.
He is, man.
Unless Van Der Poel has anything to say about it. But
please.
Time is running out, and I think he needed a good stage result today to have any chance of taking green.
Yeah. But the KOM, though? Oh, he's also taking that. Never mind. Okay.
Yep, KOM stays as it is. Top 7 stay as they are. Michael Storer, the only guy that really advanced, because There was only 9 points to be given out if you were top over all of the climbs, so you couldn't really do much damage in that classification. And Carlos Rodriguez sneaks his way above Ben Healy in the youth classification. That's pretty much all you need to know, really.
Yeah. Do you think, this is a little bit ahead of all of it, but tomorrow's stage, moment 2, do you think that Lenny Martinez is going to go into Royakoya and make it to the top of the climb? Or are you assuming that you want not a stage one?
If I'm Lenny Martinez, I'm not going in the break tomorrow. It's just not enough. I think he's got King of the Mountains as his only objective. I don't think he's concerned about the stage win.
I'm just thinking the points top of the Ventoux.
Yeah, the points over the Ventoux will go to Pogacar, I think. If anything, I'm saving my energy for the likes of Stage 18, where you've got 2 HC climbs before Col de la Loze. Yeah. And that'd be the one to save for Stage 19 as well. There's lots of King of the Mountains points to be given out. So if I'm Lenny Martinez, I'm saving my bacon until the later stages.
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, it's just Tyler's going to win it. So what's the point?
Given that you didn't watch the stage, you have no right to give it a rating out of 10. So I'm going to give the stage a solid 6. It was entertaining to watch, and the front group were clearly not working well together. Quinn Simmons was getting irate at the lack of work from Tim Wellens, and then Wellens attacked him, and that was game over. So that was at least fun to watch, but the stage promised a lot and didn't really deliver.
Actually, I want to give mine a 6.2 because of the Alaphilippe celebration.
True,
add that in there. Just want to add that in there. 6.2.
We bump it to a 6.2.
Hell yeah.
But the first stage after the rest day will be one to talk about. We've briefly discussed Lenny Martinez, but Mont Ventoux, it is what they call in the industry a hockey stick stage, because it looks like a hockey stick. One climb at the end, no climbs beforehand, flat until the 15.6 kilometers of Mont Ventoux, 8.7% average. Who do you see winning it?
I see Vingegaard coming up first, and he's gonna win. Yeah.
That is the Lukas Plays pick on the Vingegaard Illusion podcast.
Wait for Col de la Loze. It's happening again. It's happening.
You will sing the song.
Oh yeah, I am singing
Jonas Vingegaard puts Pogacar to the sword on Col de la Loze. Intriguingly enough, I went Jonas before the on the preview, or I guess you went Jonas on the preview, but my main pick was also Jonas. I'm changing that around. This Tour de France has made me see the light, I'm afraid.
No, can't believe it. But one thing that probably hasn't seen much light is your fantasy team.
Terrible segue, but I respect it.
Or mine's the same.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. So, because it was a breakaway stage, fantasy points were a little bit few and far between for most people, I would suggest. Luckily, though, the one guy that did get into the breakaway for my team was my captain, Mathieu Van Der Poel, who picks up 204 points. We'll take it.
Damn.
Lipovitz with 80, Jonas Vingegaard with 85, Martinez with 31, Pari-Pantra 16, Velasco 5, and Schroens 4 gives me a total of 426 points for the day.
Pretty sure that's quite a lot more than me. I made a risky move. I took Fred Wright as the captain and hope he went into a breakaway. He didn't. So he got me a whole 9 points. But Tadej brings it back 112. We got Lipovitz as well. Lenny Martinez Vingegaard gaining a couple of points. So a good 324 points. Yeah, that's definitely something. Yeah.
I am going to make a transfer, I think, ahead of Mont Ventoux, because Tom Schroens, I was hoping, would go into breakaways at this Tour de France. At the end of the day, he's been chained to Jonathan Milan, and this has been the story of the poor kid's career. I mean, he is a much better rider than his teammate status deserves, and should have been given his own opportunities, in my opinion. But he has been chained to Jonathan Milan this entire tour, and with 2 sprint stages to go, I don't see him getting into the breakaways and troubling on mountain stages either. So Stroins is going to be out for me, which gives me 12 available credits to spend. And I am looking for a low-tier climber to try and give me as many points as possible. How about you? What are you looking at changing?
I don't know if I want to change at this point. Well, not until we get to the flat stage, the more flat stages at the end, until we get the mountain stages over with, because I still have Tadej and Vingegaard. And if I sell anyone else, it's a bit of a gamble, because they're like 15, 11 stars, so it's a bit of a gamble. I don't want to sell Liverwoods either. So I just have to keep my team at this point, honestly, until we're completely over the mountains.
I am looking at the moment at some of the options I've got, and to be honest, there's not many. But one of them is 11th place on general classification, Jordan Jagat. And I'm thinking as a consistent point scorer, that might be the play for me. So I think I'm literally going to lock it in on the podcast. Jordan Jagat, welcome to the team, my friend. It is a leader and my third leader on the team. But at the end of the day, Jagat's going to get me consistent points. I mean, his last couple of stages have been good. 85, 64, 26. And for a guy that's on 11 stars, that's a nice
that's not
pick.
bad. That's a pretty good pick.
Jonas is my captain, though, and that is pretty obvious, unless Florian Lipovitz does some crazy stuff.
Hell yeah.
But no, I am well looking forward to Von 2. It's about time we had a mythical climb, and the way that the stage is set, it is literally just that climb.
Yep.
And that's why I think Pogacar wants it, because it's kind of got this prestige that other stages don't really have.
Do you want to predict the time it takes for them to go up? Because I climbed it myself recently. I don't want to say, I don't want to spoil the time. I can write you the time here that I did. What do you think that Tadej is gonna be putting up here?
I mean, I'd have to ask a couple of like people I know in the industry for a kind of base. But I'm thinking sort of, you did it in that time, so I think it's going to be sort of 47 minutes. Maybe the GC riders will look at each other, which will give them a little bit of time. But 47 minutes for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like that, 45 maybe. Might be my shout. Depending on how fast they go, well, I assume they're just going to go like 7 watts per kilo all the way at this point in Tadej, since, well, it depends how fast they go before they climb as well, I guess. But we're going to see some watts, and I think a record is going to be broken here for sure. I have a feeling.
Interesting. Very interesting. But a big week of racing ahead of us. What do you think of the second week? Because despite it only being fewer stages than normal, Pogacar described it as the hardest week of Tour de France that he's raced.
Yeah, that's probably about right, honestly. I mean, Vingegaard was also kept saying like this was the hardest stage he's ever done. And I think this year they've just, like, last year was fast. This year it's just on another level again. And it seems like it just keeps going up and being more and more difficult. So, I mean, on excitement, after the other cam, it was just a bit meh. But in terms of how hard it's been, I think this year is probably going to have been the hardest, like Tadej said as well.
Yeah, I think in terms of on paper, it promised more than it ended up delivering, I think, the second week. In terms of entertainment, I don't discount that it was probably the hardest week of racing in the second week that we've seen at a Tour, because the second week usually is kind of a precursor to the early third week where the stages actually get hard. But no, the race kind of under-delivered, I think, in terms of excitement, and that's nobody's fault really. Pogacar just seems to be so clear of the rest of them that he's putting in times that we have seen before, but putting in so much time to Jonas, and I'm still dying on the hill that the flat stages have been better this year.
I agree. Honestly, I agree with that. But that's sad because we have 3 huge mountain stages to go. Event 2, we have stage 18 with Col de la Luz. It's all gonna go down right there, and stage 19 as well. Are you seeing Vingegaard gaining any time at any point?
I will give the politically correct answer, given the person that I'm talking to.
Good.
And I will say yes. I will say Danish corner on Col de la Luz. Vingegaard puts down absurd watts and drops him.
Puts down 2 minutes. And then it's on for stage 19. Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But okay. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
You're seeing Jonas attack over the Col de Madeleine. Wout Van Aert pacing him down to the descent. No, you are just left. Pacing him all the way up. He gains 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then on the La Plana stage, you have Visma rip it on the first 2 climbs of the day.
Yep.
Then Vingegaard attacks over the top of Col de Cèze, and it is a 1v1 battle for 100 kilometers.
That would be fun. That would be, I can see it happening. That would be cinema, to be fair. That would be cinema.
And then they're 10 seconds away entering the final stage on Champs-Élysées. And Jonas puts the hammer down on the final one mantra to win the Tour de France.
There it is. You heard it first. You heard it here first, folks.
And then Lukas wakes up for another day. His elite dream.
It's going to happen. Don't worry. It's going to happen. It's coming home.
But no, we'll see whether it comes home later on in this tour. I highly doubt it, to be honest with you. And for your information, my stage winner picks for the remaining stages, I've kind of gone off the boil as of late, to be honest with you. I had Mohoric for stage 15. Interestingly enough, for my stream, I picked 3 riders at the start of the day. And I picked... Who did I pick? I picked Paulus, Mohoric, and Van Aert, and all 3 of them joined the breakaway, and I was like, yes, I'm the Messiah. And then none of them won. So that wasn't fantastic. But for my picks, I went Pogacar stage 16, Philipsen stage 17, and that's not going to happen. So my backup pick was Tim Merlier for that stage. I went Jonas Vingegaard for Col de la Luz, Pogacar for La Plana, Fred Wright for stage 20, and Victor Campenaerts for stage 21.
Oh, mine.
I'd like to see that. I think I should give Christian Prudhomme my script for the race.
Good. Go and just give it to him, and I'm sure he's going to be like, yeah, we can make that happen. Yeah. My picks are Vingegaard. Vingegaard also wins the sprint. Vingegaard also wins Col. No, Vingegaard wins the mountain space, and we got Milan, stage number 17. And the rest, I'm not sure. I don't remember what I said in the preview podcast, but yes.
Feel free to outro.
What? No.
Nothing else to say.
No, you got the outro. Come on now, you got it. Let me hear it.
So that concludes the rest day recap / stage 15 recap of the Wheelie Good podcast. We will see you next week for an entertaining, exciting week of racing that ends up with Pogacar gaining 10 more minutes on the general classification.
All right. No more outro for you. You're fired.
Give us 5 stars, subscribe, leave a like on the YouTube video if you're watching there, give us a review on all your other podcast platforms, your preferred platform, and we will see you for next week's racing. Hopefully it's a more enjoyable week than the previous week and actually delivers to the standards that it's set. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.